Spirit has chosen the Four Corners spread for your general monthly reading, which lays a nice, diverse groundwork where we will be looking into the four main areas of interest that people commonly ask about in tarot: the work corner, the financial money corner, the health corner, and the ever-popular love corner. We are going to take a stroll through all four to see what Spirit wants to discuss about your month. And that is what we're going to do today. Okay, Scorpio, here we go with your four corners for January 2024. We're going to start with that love corner, actually. The first thing that comes up is my 10 of Wands. These are called the 10 rods of burden because this guy is carrying all these rods, and these rods each recognize or represent lessons that you've learned. Okay, so you have repetitive lessons going on in January in your love corner. But the difference is now they're saying that you guys are equipped to deal with this better than you ever have before. It's like a test from the universe to see, has Scorpio learned this time? Well, January is going to present an opportunity for you to show them, yes, actually I have. So these 10 rods of burden, they show you moving forward in the future with these lessons that you've learned. And of course, the love corner is a big place in your life. It is your love pursuits, anybody close to your heart, like even friends can come in on here, your lover directly, family members, the whole lot, even pets can come in here. So they talk about learning lessons. So whether this is learning about an ex, whether this is learning about a family dynamic, maybe something with the kids, something like that, this is something you've been through before. And you guys are ready to tackle this in January in a much better space. Now, they want to bring up, there's a lot of wands coming up in your love corner, actually, and the wands usually point at the work corner a little bit. We're going to pay more attention to that when we get there. But there's a possibility in here that something for work is being ignored for staying with the family or putting more energy into the family, and work is like calling for it. So let's not neglect work just because of family concerns. Okay, that's going to be very important for some people because they show an inauthoritative push here with work, with my King of Wands being flipped around here. So make sure that work is getting its due diligence. And of course, work corner 2 is a very large part of your life. It is work, business, enterprise, area of study, collegiate courses, retirement if you're of that age, entrepreneurship. For most people, it's the JOB, but it can also be hobbies and interests. So as you can see, very big thing. Whatever that is for you is likely what they're saying. Don't neglect this part here, okay? Just don't, you can't do the family all the time. You got to do work too. Last thing they show here is an event coming in on a block. So that means usually one of two different things. It's either blocked because it's saying this event is not going to happen in January. Maybe, something comes up. And an event, first of all, is defined as something out of the ordinary. And usually it's very positive. It's just like, it could be as simple as me and a friend going to go see a movie in a movie theater. I don't do that very often, so that would be an event, right? Another version of an event could be like a party, a gathering, a wedding. So you get the idea here. So by them saying blocked, this could mean that it doesn't happen in January. Maybe it happens later, and the block is because of a delay. This can also be that you're hearing about it in January, but actually the event is much later. It's like if you get a wedding invitation in January, but the wedding is not until June. Okay, that's the kind of vibe that is going on here with a blocked event. So that's what we talk about in the love corner. Okay guys, let me take a moment here to tell you about the reformatting of your general monthly readings, as well as a few very exciting updates that are coming. The first thing you've probably already noticed is that the overhead camera has been removed from your spread. This saves us about 4 or 5 minutes. If looking at the cards, though, is something that you're interested in, I am posting the picture, a snapshot overhead view from the spread that I'm doing for every sign. You can find that on Facebook. Also on Facebook, you'll be able to find the printout for chemistry tracking for your month. And this is also posted on my website. Chemistry tracking basically shows what sign is going to be vibing well with your sign in the month, as well as what sign or signs will be repelling, kind of opposite energy. What sign you're going to be kicking well with and what sign you're not so much. Moon Cycle cheat sheet will also be posted on scottsagent.com on the Talking About page, and also Moon Cycle will be included in your reading, along with the Rune Stone, and along with Homily. All the things that you've grown to love will still be in your reading. You're getting an extra thing here, though, because every single sign is getting angel protection at the end of your reading. This is an extra angel card, just a little extra information from Spirit about your month. However, all the spreads that I called extra spreads, stuff like telling time, yes or no, chakra scrub, health scrub, stuff like that, animal totems, all that good stuff, those are all Extra spreads, those are going to be moved into what I call urgent readings. Urgent readings are going to be posted the very first week of the month. If Spirit requested one, about half of the signs get these. So that's going to be very important to look out for. Those will be posted everywhere, but of course all the newest updates will be posted on scottsagent.com first. The last thing I want to share with you today is that the quadrants video is coming. January 3rd is the date, and that is the quadrants video for your sign. And this forecasts information for the entire year. It is some of my most popular videos and audio products as well. So quadrants is something you do not want to miss. That'll be everywhere January 3rd. What is a quadrant? Well, a quadrant forecasts for your entire year broken up into 4 different pieces. And we're going to be talking about things like work, health, love, money, planning and preparation for vacations, relaxation, when the best quadrant is for you guys to get busy and be productive, when is the best quadrant to play it safe, and when is the best quadrant for risks. We're going to be looking at themes for the different quadrants, a whole bunch of information that you guys will be able to obtain from these readings, so do not miss the quadrants dropping January 3rd. And for January only, Quadrants is available as a personal audio product, a personal reading done just for you, looking at the planning and preparation for your year, going through all of the same topics, but just making it that much more accurate for you. It is one of my most popular products, and it is only available in January, so do not wait to book your Quadrants reading. scottsagent.com. Jumping down to health, guys, the first thing they talk about for health, this is going to be a different format, first of all. And the reason I bring that up is because Scorpio is getting an urgent reading for January. That is not in this reading. That is separate. It's going to be dropping the very first week of January, guys. And you're looking on my sheet here, you guys are getting a health scrub. So you guys are going to be getting a much finer tuned, detailed definition of what is going on with health in January for a lot of my great Scorpios. But here they still want to give you something. This is just a little nugget though. The bigger one is coming in a few days here on YouTube, also on the website scottsagent.com. The first thing they talk about here is taking great pride in your health. So it's important for Scorpios to understand here that whatever you're doing to improve your physical health here in January, it's got to be something you care about. This cannot be something that you just, I hate jogging 5K. I just hate doing it. I hate jogging in general, right? Okay, so that's not going to work for you. This has got to be something that you care about doing. So you got to find an angle, an approach that you would really enjoy here. It's just like, maybe you enjoy going to a gym and cycling with a bunch of people. Maybe you can join a group or something like that. So something that you just find very interesting and something that you will continuously do and consistently show up to do is very important here. If you don't care about it, Scorpio, they're saying you might as well not even waste your time with it. It is not going to stick. The next thing they show here is really just what's coming in first is they're trying to get you to remove, or I don't even want to say remove, for some of you it could be add, but little things. We have little stick fights coming up here on a block. So they're saying we just need to get rid of these little couple things, and Scorpios are in great shape. And we're going to pay more attention, like I said, to what those details are in your urgent reading coming in a couple days. Let's go to work and finance, guys. Work and finance, very intertwined, obviously. I mean, most people make their finances through the workplace. And since your finance is the only corner that came in as a big ping, this is a major deal, I'm going to actually start there. They talk about the hangman coming in first. So they talk about hang-ups financially. Now, in the work corner, they talked about timing a little bit more so we can see when these hang-ups are going to start breaking free. But it's interesting because they show hang-up, but they also show action going on. And they show that this is going to happen more than likely with the family. Maybe that is part of why they're saying, hey, pay attention to work. We need a little extra money here. Got to get things done. Maybe something's getting in the way later, right? So we have action coming in with my Knight of Cups, action in the family. This is the financial corner, though. So it's usually like you buying something for the family. It's not so much for yourself. I mean, maybe it could be for you if, everybody benefits from it, like buying a car, something like that, right? So action for the family coming up financially, despite the stagnation. So I think with the stagnation coming in, it's probably a matter of timing. Timing is probably very key here. They bring in crystal clear intentions for my Oracle Angel card. This is talking about being clear about what you desire and focusing on it with unwavering faith. I pay attention to crystal clear intentions. Just be clear up here. what you're trying to buy. Okay, if you're not sure what you're trying to buy, let me go back to the car example. Okay, you're going to get either ripped off, or you're not going to get the right one, or you're not going to make the best decision for you. You want to be very, very precise about what you're spending money on here. We're going to talk more about that in Work Quarter, but they talk about how fast this decision gets made, or how fast the news comes in that, hey, you do have to make a decision here and move some money around for the family. Maybe it's something to help a kid, who's to say? It could be a wide variety of different things, and that is where the general reading kind of falls apart. That's really why you need a personal private reading to get information, messages that are specific only to you. I offer a wide variety of those on my website, scottsagent.com. In fact, this 4-corner spread that we're doing here today, I include that for free with my 30 and my 60-minute service. We go over the 4 corners before I even start a timer. It gives us a little Polaroid snapshot of where you are right now with these 4 corners. So obviously something to consider there, especially since January. Such a great time to get a reading, get new information for the new year. So there is your financial corner. When we go up to work, this is going to start making a lot more sense because they talk about work timing toward the end of January, and they bring up next my hoarder card. When I have the hoarder card, they're basically saying you got to stop being a hoarder here. But they give you the time when to do it. Late in January. You don't want to go too early here. I'm not sure why. Maybe you get a better deal, something like that. Maybe you just need to accrue a little bit more money first. Wait till the next check hits or something like that. But they show really money opening up from work, from the work angle. And this is placed on the timing, like I told you. End of January is very key there. So it's almost like we got the hang up when we talked about the hangman here coming in financially. It's hung up early in January for a reason. Later in the month, as we get into late January, that's when they're saying, hey, you know what? You're free to open this up here. You got the green light from Spirit to say, go ahead. You got green light. Go ahead. Cruise control. Let's go going with it. So there is your financial or your work corner. Your work corner is very simple, except for what they're saying, point the finger over there to it. So they don't want something there being neglected. The love corner was pointing to work corner, and vice versa. Back around we go. So as we get into your extra angel protection card, because I am giving you guys all the signs actually, an angel protection card. It's part of the readings now for the new reformatting. You guys got the angel card of patience. That kind of, if you read between the lines, it kind of shows you that there is going to be some things in January that do not go Scorpio's way. Maybe not what you were expecting. Maybe didn't go accordingly to planned or something like that. Okay, so you're going to have to exude a little bit of patience here. Like we talked about earlier, don't jump because this stuff is hung up. You need that crystal clear intent. You got to be very sure about what's going on. And that can take patience, okay? That's a practice. It says in the card that your dreams are blooming much more rapidly than you realize. Still, they need nurturing and patience. Okay, so just hang in there, guys. It is coming. Sometimes things take a little bit of time. And speaking of taking a little bit of time, your rune stone for January is the rune of growth. So when we have growth, that is talking about the same thing. It's just like a plant grows very, very slowly. Sometimes you can check in on it in a couple days and you can see it moving up a little bit, but usually it's so slow you don't even notice it unless you go for weeks between and then you check back and be like, oh, okay, that was a substantial amount of growth. Well, growth from us is the same exact thing. And if you look back to where you were a couple of years before here, let's say 2, 5, 10, look back. Have you grown? Are you a completely different person than you are today than you were back then? Facebook is a great guide of that. They like to bring up memories and stuff like that. I know I see some stuff before that I'm like, oh my gosh, I said that. Why did I say that? That is so not me. Not now, not today, right? So growth can be slow. Go back to this. Be a little patient in your January, guys. You guys can do it. You guys will do it. I have no doubt about it. Now this is your 4 corners. We're going to go into your moon cycles next and homily. Okay guys, it is moon cycles forecast time. Let's talk about these lunar energies that are all around us anyways, so we can use it to our benefit, implement some positive change into your month. Well, the first thing you need to understand is whether these energies are coming in or going out. Just like the tides, the moon has control of that. In the same way, you can use it too. The first thing that hits chronologically this month is the new moon. You're going to see all the text information on your screen, any rare occurrences, as well as the date. Now, this is a target date for the new moon. It doesn't have to be done on this date, guys. I really like to bracket a few days before and a few days after to get a very powerful week where you can bring new things into your life and really manifest. If it is NEW, it's not there before, brand new, this is the best time to bring it into your life. Something new financially, maybe something new with work, new love, new health. It doesn't matter what it is. If it's new, this is the best time of the month to work on these things, really help bring it in. Adversely, the full moon, the opposite energy, the energy going out, hits on this date on your screen. And of course, the same rules apply. It doesn't have to be done on this date. We're talking about a week window, a few days on each side of it here. When this energy is very strong going out, and the energy going out is the best time to get things out of your life that don't belong there or that you don't want there, something that's got control of you or hold of you that you don't want. Maybe something like a bad habit, maybe emotional baggage, a bill that's got to go. That would be something financially, maybe something with health, maybe an eating habit that's got to go. It doesn't matter if it's got to go. The full moon is your best bet to get this change to stick. If any of this has confused you, I've put together a moon cycle cheat sheet. I do it every single month. It is free. It is on the website, guys. You can check it out very easily. It is a little graphic illustration, a tool that you can use so you can kind of see these changes moving in and moving out, so you can align things in your month to it to really get them to stick, implement some great positive changes. Now let's get into your homily. Hey guys, this is Scott Sagent here for your January 2024 edition of Homily. And for this month's homily, starting the new year, I thought it would be fun if we did a little thought experiment here, so that is why you cannot see me right now. And that's okay, because I cannot see you either. It's actually not necessary. You can hear my voice, and that is all you're going to need in this exercise. It's a little thought experiment called the Ideal You. So go ahead and take this opportunity, since it's going to be a closed eye kind of a meditation. Take this opportunity to find a little couch, a comfortable spot, a recliner, a bed, a sofa, whatever it is for you. Get nice and comfortable where you can shut your eyes for a few minutes. If you're driving, you know what? Probably don't participate. I think that would be a bad idea. Maybe you can come back and check this homily out at a safer time for you. But for everybody else, let's get started with the Ideal You experiment. The very first thing I want you to consider and think about is what you would rate yourself here on a scale of 1 to 10, kind of where your placement is in life, how you have attained your goals over the last few years, if you're where you want to be, if you're nowhere close to where you want to be, the way that you present yourself, the way that others perceive you, all of these things. I'm just giving you a few examples of, obviously it's a much bigger umbrella, and whatever it is for you, the way that you come up with your rating system is just fine, but come up with a number to where you feel like you are at right now. Okay, so remember that number, but also throw it away. We're not going to need it for a while. Right now, we're not going to concern ourselves with future goals. We're really just worrying about the present, right here, right now. What does your ideal you look like right now? How do they dress? How do they carry themselves? How do they act around people? How are they perceived by people? How are they perceived in the workplace? All this kind of thing. You have to visualize it to make it come true. So this is a visual aspect that I would like you to consider right now, and be very, very specific about your visualization. Think very deeply about the details. How this person wears their nails, what kind of jewelry they wear, what do they dress like, what kind of body language do they put out, how do they speak, what kind of tone, do they smile easily, how big, are they warm to others? This is your ideal you that I would like you to consider, visualize, and hang on to that visual. Now take this energy signature, this whole idea that you just constructed in your mind and put together and puzzle pieced together, maybe some of you duct tape and super glued it together, it doesn't matter. Take this energy signature here, and what we're going to do is we're going to expand it. We're going to make it much, much larger. However you viewed it before, we're going to multiply this times like 100, times 1,000, times whatever it is that this sucker is huge, whether it's a visual of you or a goal or what it is, we're going to make it massive. So think about it getting bigger, 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 and much, much bigger than even that. Now maybe some of you have made this so big that you have to zoom out just to be able to see the whole picture anymore, and that's just fine. But now we're going to adjust and tune the contrast. We're going to tune some settings here. So adjust that contrast. We're going to make everything very bright. All those colors are going to get vibrant and very, very sharp. There is going to be no dull colors here at all. Everything is super bright, full of contrast. Once you're done tweaking that, now we're going to tweak the brightness. We're going to make it bright, all the way fully bright as you can go before it hits white. So now these colors are not just bright, but they are almost blinding, and they are so sharp. The final setting that we're going to tweak is frequency. We're going to turn that frequency knob all the way up to high. You cannot hear frequency here, but you almost can, because as you turn it up high, you can see this picture shaking, vibrating. You can feel it very deeply in your bones. This frequency is being turned up high. You are raising the level of your energy signature of what you've created. I picture this ringing like a champagne glass, and once you've got this frequency all the way turned up, your brightness and your contrast all the way turned up, your energy signature, we want to blow it up, and not just blow it up to get rid of it, but we're going to blow it up and expand it out in every direction, just like a supernova, a star exploding, and we're going to mentally just shoot this whole entire signature that you've created everywhere, little bits and pieces of it fragmented everywhere, every which way, and it's just dropping down like snow, falling a little bit here, a little bit there, and visualize how people are reacting to this version of you. As we wrap up your January homily and conclude our thought experiment, I have two final questions for you. Number one, rate yourself again, how you feel right now. I want to know how you feel, how this makes you feel, your ideal you being everywhere. What is your rating now? I don't care what it was before. How do you feel right now? Most people, general consensus, bump up their first number after an experiment like this of 1 or 2 points. Maybe you're experiencing that. Maybe you boosted even higher. Maybe you stayed the same, I'm not exactly sure, but the consensus is that most people do raise up just from this couple minutes of this idea processing in their mind, and visualization is key for manifestation. It is the only way that it is brought into the physical realm and made real. So now you have the tools, you know how to make this energy signature, and if you can bump your rating and feel that much better about your future right now in the present moment, imagine in just a couple of minutes, imagine if you were to do this every day. This is helping you to get to that goal, to get to that place, to get to your ideal you. It's not a future deal, it's a present deal. All this work is done in the present, and this is just one tool to help you get to that point. Hopefully, January 2024 here in your homily is a good bridge to get you there. So I hope you've enjoyed the readings and your homily. Thank you all so much. Have a great January 2024. I know you will.
I guess the fortune teller's right.